Good morning. This is Sri Primo here with a quick preview of week number 10 of the NFL season. And we do have a very early start. We'll get to some of the other matchups. We'll talk about some of the exceptional matchups. What are the things to look forward to um, this weekend? And let's quickly start off bright and early in the morning for the East Coast folks between the Falcons and Colts. The Falcons and Colts both coming off a loss. The Colts actually had a very tough loss against Pittsburgh. They went into Pittsburgh at 7-2. They were high flying offense, but Pittsburgh defense really stifled their passing game, running game, and also created five turnovers to beat the Colts handily in Pittsburgh. And then the Falcons were coming off a loss. They were in the verge of being blown out in the first half, but a couple of turnovers here and there, they were able to get back into the game. They got back and they almost tied the game with a touchdown, but missed the extra point. They had another opportunity, a couple of opportunities, but Patriots were able to round down the clock with picking up a key first down. And that's how the Falcons have lost that game. So with that, the Falcons were actually threatening in the division for NFC South, but then they were 3-2, losing three in a row. They're right now uh, in three games behind the Buccaneers, and also the Panthers are ahead of them as well by one game. So 1.5 games because they've already played 9 games. So with that, we start off with this is bright and early in Germany. You got the Falcons and uh, the Colts. But then the rest of the 1 o'clock games, when you think about it, the biggest one, actually, there are two good games you have in the 1 o'clock game. One is between the Ravens and the Vikings. The Ravens, huge win. Lamar Jackson, having 4 touchdowns. And the Vikings coming off a huge win against the Lions. So both of them are coming off some huge wins. Um, the Vikings are 4-4. That's the only division. There's no team under 500. So you do have the Vikings defense going against the Baltimore offense. So I think it's going to be exciting. Ravens on the road. Definitely Vikings, JJ McCarthy is now the starting quarterback with Carson Wentz going out. McCarthy didn't play sharp, but didn't make too many mistakes. Kept the defense. The defense kept the Minnesota Vikings. They were very opportunistic against the Lions, and they came up with a huge victory. So I see a good battle going on, defensive battle. It's going to be a challenge for Lamar and the team against the Vikings. The other one being the Patriots playing Buccaneers. You can call it this the Brady Bowl, even to the point that Brady did not want to call the winner of this game because he had both the stints. He had a stint, obviously, 20 years in the New England, and then went on to play at Tampa, won a Super Bowl there. So he has a lot of memories at both places, kind of called it Game of the Week. So the Brady Bowl featuring Drake May, who's playing at a great level, except for two mistakes he had last week against the Falcons, which let the Falcons come back. And Baker Mayfield, I mean, one thing you can say is that he's really kept this team afloat. I mean, they won a lot of I've called them the cardiac Bucks. They won a lot of close games, especially in the last minute of the game. So I feel that the Buccaneers will be ready. Again, this is a home game. It's always tough to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at their place. Both the teams have a lot of injuries. I mean, we already know Mike Evans is out for the season. I think looks like Chris Godwin and Bucky Irvin have been ruled out. Same thing on the Patriots side. Both the Keyshawn Bude and Ramondre Stevens have been ruled out as well. So seems like an even game going on. It's unfortunate it's a 1 o'clock game. This should have been the Sunday night matchup, but the Sunday night matchup is a good one too. You have the Steelers and Chargers as well. And then the Monday night is also very good. We have the Eagles and Packers. So as far as the 4 o'clock games, you've got the Rams going and playing the 49ers. So huge division matchup. Looks like Mac Jones is going to start for the 49ers again. He's already taken them to a good record this year. The Rams are at 6-2. The 49ers are at 6-3. So important for the 49ers to win this matchup. Uh, so I think it's going to be and in fact, that's NFC West. I think that's the only division that has all four teams with a winning streak. At least, I mean, all of them won last week. So 49ers Rams, I think that'll be a good matchup. Matthew Stafford, I don't know what the status of Puka Nakua is, who was out with an injury. So it's going to be interesting to see, uh, if the Rams can balance their attack with some running attack and then going against 49ers. And the 49ers, Mac Jones has played excellent. That's the 425 game. Looking forward to that game as well. And I do think that the 49ers playing at home, it's you can say it's playing at home because I think the home team will be packed. I think they're really excited back after a 6-11 season last year. 49ers are with Kyle Shanahan. They lost Brock Purdy early, but Mac Jones has definitely kept them in the hunt so far. And then the other two games that I would really wanted to touch upon, one is the Steelers and Chargers. Steelers coming up with a huge win. Chargers going into Tennessee and winning it. Very important game in the overall AFC standing because the Chargers are right now in the second place because with the Broncos winning a very ugly game they won against the Raiders. I mean, they scored less than 20 points again. They're 3-0, scoring 20 points, which means that their defense is playing very well. Bo Nix is not having a super season, but Bo Nix is doing what he does, especially in the fourth quarter. Getting to to a point where they can kick an extra field goal and win this game. So Broncos are at 8-2, NFL best right now. The Chargers are 6-3. So it's important. It's very important for Chargers to win this game. Same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers are right now at 5-3, with the Ravens now at 3-5. So they cannot afford to lose with a lot of two division games coming up between the Steelers and Ravens. The Steelers played great last week. Aaron Rodgers only threw for 200 yards, but hasn't made many mistakes at all overall for the Steelers this season. So the Steelers and Chargers will be a fun matchup on a Sunday night game. And then, I mean, no matter where the Steelers play, even though they're playing at the Chargers, there are going to be a lot of yellow towels in the stands. It almost seems to going to be like a home game for the Steelers. And then you got a very marquee matchup. The Packers now coming off a loss against the Panthers at home. The Packers really need to get back into the hunt again. I mean, they're still leading the division because they're at 5-2-1, but the lines are breathing down. And then you got the Bears at 5-3 and the Vikings at 4-4. So the Packers has a huge game after a loss coming off, and then the Eagles made a huge trade with Jalen Phillips coming on from Miami, and the Eagles are traveling to the Packers. The Eagles have they lost two in a row, but then they've won the next two. So they're actually sitting in a very pretty place in that NFC East division. At this time, I think that's their division to win. They're at 6-2. And there's a lot of 6-2 teams in the NFL right now, in the NFC. So the Eagles definitely want to stay ahead to get that number one seed because it's always tough to beat them in Philadelphia. So I feel that they'll be ready for that game as well. So let's quickly talk about some of the other matchups that we have in this one. So, like I said, the Germany game kicks off on the Sunday slate, early morning, 9:30 ET. So, their Germany should be really. This is the first game in Germany. We played matches in Brazil. We played matches in London, but this is a great opportunity for the German fans to see this. So I would think that the Colts will have a great game because I think Jonathan Taylor, especially after only rushing for sub 50 yards against Steelers, the Falcons can be run on. So I think that's where I see, although the Falcons defense is solid, so especially the secondary. And then we talked about the Brady Bowl as well. And then the AFC playoff scramble between the LA Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's where we are with some of the games so far in the NFL, and really looking forward to it. We got the a lot of the games going on so far. Um, so I think it's going to be really, really fun. I think. And then there are other games too. Detroit playing in Washington. Detroit losing last week, and then against Minnesota, they that's another game that they would like to come back. And Arizona playing Seattle. I think that'll be a fun matchup for Seattle. Seattle's playing really well. I mean, Sam Darnold, another resurgence for him as well. So looking forward to a lot of these games, and let's see what happens. And then I'm also interested in another matchup. This is just a matchup from the quarterback standpoint. The Giants taking on the Bears. The Bears with Caleb Williams playing solid right now, 5-3 with Ben Johnson at the helm. And the Giants, they've lost a lot of key players, but I'm really excited to see the matchup between Jackson Dart, who was picked by the Giants this year, going against Caleb Williams, who was picked overall number one last year. So I think Chicago has got a good rushing attack. I see them really pounding the New York defense, which has given up a lot of yardage in the last three outings. So, and then the Bears also have like 19 for the season for the turnovers. So I think I see a big game for the Bears as well. So with that, we wrap up Week 10 of the NFL. Let's see. We'll come back on the other side on Tuesday morning and cover the rest of the recaps of all the games. Looking forward to my Pats traveling to Tampa. Looking forward to all the other games, and let's see. When we come on Tuesday, let's see which teams have made the push, which teams kind of taken a step back, and which teams will be still fighting for the playoff. So with that, we wrap up this podcast, and thanks again for listening, and thanks again for supporting. Huge shout out. We did like a huge mid-season recap, but I did it with Mark and Steve. Please listen to that as well. So I think you'll have fun listening to it. Thanks again. And then in college football, go Huskies today against Duke. Big game today. Big game. Thank you again for listening.